Witness the colossal boxing showdown nobody expected, live on Netflix. International superstar Jake Paul, the sport's most watched fighter, takes on Britain's two-time unified heavyweight world champion and Olympic gold medalist, Anthony A.J. Joshua, in the most dangerous and defining matchup of their careers. This is Judgment Day. Watch Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, Friday, December 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on Netflix.
This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hello, I'm Diane Morgan. If you know who I am, you know who I am. If you don't, who cares? I'm here to explain Italian Time, a holiday phenomenon where Italians throw away their clocks and gather for eternity with San Pellegrino. I've been at this party so long that I've eaten 5 courses, hugged someone's grandma twice, and been offered a job in the family restaurant. So this holiday season, make sure to bring enough San Pellegrino to last you through the meal, the after meal, and the entire goodbye ritual. San Pellegrino, holiday on Italian Time.
Here's my 30-second story with Guinness. As soon as my sister and I get home for the holidays, we don't even unpack. We head straight to our pub. The bartender already knows our order, Guinness and fries. We laugh all night, catch up with old friends, and walk home with faces sore from smiling. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. That was my 30-second story with Guinness.
Guinness Draft Stout. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by Diageo Beer Company, USA, New York, New York.
And welcome back to the Skating Penguin Network, everyone. It is the evening of December the 16th of 2025. The Penguins just wrapped up a game against the Edmonton Oilers, which was also the capstone of a 5-game homestand. And I don't think we'll get into the nitty-gritty of just everything. If you listen to our episode that we recorded Saturday evening-ish, afternoon-ish, that kind of was a look into how I think the entire fan base is feeling. Sunday, another just cataclysmic meltdown, but that's beside the point. Before we get into the details of this one, though, on the other end is, as always, Snail. Snail, how are things out your way as we get now into this? We're midway through December and Christmas is really coming fast.
Yeah, man, Christmas is getting scarily close. I feel like this whole holiday season has really ticked by just quicker and quicker than I expected. It's raining a lot here. We actually are having some floods in the surrounding areas. Some of the rivers and the streams, rivers, basically any body of water. If you live along a river right now, you're on high alert because it's just coming down, and it's literally an atmospheric river has been passing over Washington. Fortunately, I live up on a very tall hill. The neighborhood I kind of live in is actually, I live right outside of the actual neighborhood. It's called this, but the neighborhood that is kind of right next to me is literally called the Summit, and it's a huge hill that overlooks, and there's a lot of big hills that have neighborhoods on top of them in the area. So we're safe from all that. But yeah, man, like there's some interesting stuff going on out here weather-wise. But other than that, man, yeah, just looking forward to the holidays. And, you know, I was looking forward to this 5-game homestand that the Penguins just had. And boy, did it not deliver, man. But we'll get to that soon. How are things out west? I heard it was a cold one yesterday in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, yesterday was a cold one. If you did tune into any of the hockey over the weekend, especially Sunday, you may have heard some stories of bad roads in the city. That was pretty much basically half of Pennsylvania. We got hit with a big storm on, it would have been Friday. It was basically like started a little bit, depending on where you were, Friday night and basically all day through Saturday into Sunday morning. It dumped inches of snow on the entire area. And yeah, it was a mess. I can't imagine Utah had fun getting in or whenever they got in. Hopefully they got in beforehand, but I know their bus got stuck trying to get to the arena. It was very messy. It was only about 15 degrees yesterday on Monday where I am, but today it got up to like 35, 36, so a much warmer day and warmer temperatures to come. So this big snow we got, I don't know if it's going to last until Christmas with some of the weather we got coming, but no, we definitely got hit with our first real winter storm, real winter temperatures, but hey, we're out on the other side now, and yeah, we're taking down the days to Christmas here. And Snail, you said you were looking forward to this five game homestand. So was I. The Penguins had come off a 3-game road trip where they had won 2 games and got a point out of the third. Though little did we know that blowing the lead against Dallas would be maybe the least painful moment of the past 7 or 8 days, because as we talked about, the blown lead to Anaheim and then getting run out of the building by Montreal, but then Saturday, another catastrophic collapse against the San Jose Sharks. And you think that, okay, at some point it almost becomes a joke that you can't possibly keep doing this. Well,
don't tease the Penguins with a good time about making things a joke about something with their way they play, because they will take that. You give them an inch, they take a mile when it comes to that. We know that too well now, Robbie, over the past few seasons. You throw the word joke around, the Penguins will put their hand right up and find a way to make it about them.
Well, yeah, on Sunday, they take another 3-goal lead into the third period. Within 5 minutes, they are down 4-3. A snowball effect of basically everything that they had been dealing with over the past 3 games before this all came to a head here against Utah. A game, again, they should have easily been able to put a bow on. They do not. They lose it in overtime, and they are lucky, very, very lucky, that they got even a point out of this game. They go down 4-3. Brazeau gets a tying goal in the third period. But then after that, I mean, they're just absolutely dreadful in the overtime period. We are already at the game 31 or 32 mark, and they have 9 overtime losses already. It's bad. And we're going to focus on this one for a while, or for a little bit before we get to the Edmonton game, because as I was watching this, I just figured they can't do it again. And lo and behold, it follows the same exact script. They give up an early one, and everything. I've never seen a team lose confidence when holding a lead, and then just one sign of adversity, and the house of cards comes crashing down.
Yeah, man, it was it happened really quick too. Like, it wasn't even like a drawn out third period where the other team just chips away. They were tied. The 3-goal comeback to tie the game had happened before it had fully been 5 minutes into the third period. It actually 2 goals came before the first 2 minutes of the period, I believe.
Yeah, they scored.
I believe it was the 18.
Seconds,
yeah, it was around the 18-minute mark that they had gotten 2 on the board. And that was, like I said, 18-minute mark or so. And a young team like Utah that's got spunk. And I mean, they've got some killers on that team, man. Like, it's not like this is the Arizona Coyotes, with that kind of just baggage they carried around, and you kind of would just chalk it up to 2 points whenever they'd roll into town. But no, they got rolling, and the Penguins basically did backflips and to find ways to lose, man. They were doing backflips, finding ways to let that puck get into their own net. And yeah, dude, and once they took the lead, I thought, you know what? I think that maybe it's over. Like, maybe they had experienced what they were afraid of. Like, maybe that the bad thing had happened and they were going to be able to wipe it. It's a new game. All of a sudden you're down 1 and you've got actually quite a bit of hockey left to play. I thought maybe they were going to come storming back. I wasn't totally wrong, because Brazeau gets on the board with a goal. And I was hoping maybe they could push and just win it in regulation, and maybe that would sort of cleanse the evil that they've been dealing with, whatever it is, get that juju off of them. But no, it goes to overtime and it ends very quickly. And when it went to overtime, even as a fan, you know, I liked that they put Kindle out there to start. I thought Kindle had a great game.
He did.
I rarely say this about our captain, but Sid's been looking 37 years old or whatever. I think lately, I think he's kind of looked his age recently. It's not that he isn't effective, because he does a lot that you know, goes, maybe it's not him just scoring goals anymore. He's doing a lot of things, but he's older, man. And you got Kindle with legs now, who's probably punching a little bit above his weight, being only 18, and he's just, you know, getting his first taste of the league. And I liked the move though, and it ended quick, man. And it was I didn't have a ton of confidence. This overtime with this team is something that it's just their plague this year. It's not the power play anymore. It's not the letting in the first shot of the game, letting in the first shot of the game against them in the back of the net. It's this year. It's the third period in the overtime, man. And yeah, dude, it's just been a microcosm of the homestand and that Dallas game. And I just don't. I think it's personnel. I think it's personnel. I think that they don't have speed and killers where they need it, where other teams that are successful have it. And I mean, yeah, Sidney Crosby's the heartbeat of the team, but he's allowed to look his age sometime, because Father Time's undefeated. It is what it is. And I don't think he's going to fall off and he's just going to be, you know, old man Sid the rest of the year. I just think right now it's a condensed schedule. This was their chance to kind of reset and get some mojo. You're at home and you had leads in all these games, and you're not going to win every game, man. Like that Montreal game, that Fowler kid, it was written in history that, you know, Patrick Waugh or whatever, all the goalies that had their first start against the Penguins, they all were like Hall of Famers and win against the Penguins. Did you see that stat?
Yeah.
So anyways, man, I'll hand it back over to you, but it's just, this was their opportunity to get to bank some points and chill and reset before they go on the road for a couple of games here. And I just feel like by the time they faced Edmonton tonight, that we're not quite getting to yet though. I mean, I told you last time, Robbie, how many times can you get yourself up off the mat? You jump out to those leads and you've got this energy and you're owning the game, and then you blow them like that. It's probably, your boots are probably a little heavier after each game.
Yeah, and that all starts to wear on you. And the frustrating part about the whole homestand as a whole is they were coming off a good road trip. I mean, the Dallas game aside how that ended, you still took 5 out of 6 points. You beat Philly in Philly. You beat Tampa Bay on the road. A game where you actually survived some adversity in that game. Like, they did come back, but they found a way to respond. And one thing that hasn't really been talked about in this entire this calamity of a road trip or homestand, man, they missed. And I didn't think that this would be as damaging as, if you would have told me that this would have been as devastating of an injury as it was at the beginning of the season. Man, they miss Evgeny Malkin in an absolutely, I mean, yeah, he was having a great season, but I mean, without him, that second line, it just evaporates. Like, they have some good moments. Yeah. Tommy Novak's playing good hockey. Brazeau, after a slow start, after coming back, has kind of found his groove again. But, man, that line was just doing – with Mantha was just doing so good when Malkin was there, because they could just beat you with size and skill.
And Malkin brought that kind of – he's a bully, dude. Like, he was he's really the only one on that line that would bring – he'd make them 2 inches taller, because he's, you know, getting in the mix, and he can be a jerk out there.
Yeah, and he just, again, and you, that heart, that passion, he's having a great season, and he just kind of goes down with an injury that nobody really even knows what the issue is.
Is he skating yet?
I don't know if he skated. I don't know if they had. I don't think any injured guys skated at the morning session.
Okay.
We'll find out more if they practice here tomorrow or on Wednesday when you guys listen to this. We should hopefully find out something more. I mentioned it in our vent episode on Saturday. They missed Blake Lizotte too. The penalty kill was not good against Edmonton. Not that that's an easy task, regardless of Blake Lizotte's out there or not. But Malkin is just, again, he was clicking so well this year. He was driving the play. He was everything. He rescued them against Tampa Bay after they blew that lead. And really, in a team that relies still on these old guys, these old superstars to score, losing a guy that was averaging almost a point per game this season, yeah, that's tough to replace out of the blue. And again, maybe you just, even if he's not scoring in these games where they're blowing leads, just having him on the bench, knowing that he can go off at any moment, that he can kind of rescue things. It's not all on Sid. Is a huge boost, and they really miss that right now. And it just, after all that, the 4 games preceding this, especially the game against Anaheim, San Jose, and Utah, the 3 big blown leads, it was going to be tough against Edmonton. It always is. Edmonton, just with the way they play, I know they're struggling and it's not great. McDavid's going to get his, and McDavid's on a tear right now to begin with. Mm-hmm. The Penguins just way too many penalties in this game. That's a huge task from your penalty kill. And they score, I think Edmonton had 3 power play goals tonight. The Penguins did have 1 as well, but you can't keep pace with Edmonton when you're playing like that. It doesn't matter. And for all the talk about Skinner versus the Oilers and Jari versus the Penguins, the goalies weren't. This was not a goalie show tonight. There's no real retribution for either of those guys. But no, it's tough. I mean, these guys are worn down. They've played a lot of games so far this month, and they got 4 more, including a back-to-back over the weekend, I believe, with Montreal.
Tuesday, and they have 4 more games.
Yeah, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah, counting tonight, I guess it's this week. It's
yeah.
That's a lot of games, man.
It's a bit, but that's, I mean, you had that entire off stretch when you were over in Sweden, so you knew it was going to come around, and with the Olympic break, you're going to end up getting games crammed at some point. But if they find a way to win even 2 of those games, the entire confidence is completely different. They were completely defeated tonight. Edmonton gets up 2-0, and the Penguins, to their credit, do find a way to chip back a couple times. Just too much firepower for Edmonton that the Penguins just couldn't keep up.
It was a tall task to hang in there with that.
You were never gonna be able to do it, especially when you're down one of your big scorers. And again, the penalty kill, not great. Just too many. Again, I don't want to say the refs are great, but you can't put yourself in position against a team like Edmonton where their speed's going to get calls drawn. And yeah, they're completely zapped right now. Maybe the best thing for them is getting out of Pittsburgh, even if they're not getting a break. Just get on the road. You're going to Ottawa. Your next 4 games are actually all against Canadian teams. You have Ottawa and then a home and home with the Canadiens, and then Toronto before Christmas. So maybe the best thing is just to get the heck out of Dodge, even though it's your home ice, just for a few days here, just to kind of reset on the road. Maybe you find a way to grab one in Ottawa and just kind of build that confidence back, and then just 1 game at a time right now, just to kind of get back on track.
Yeah, I think getting on the road is probably needed, which, sounds counterproductive because there's going to be travel, but it's not like they're going to it. They're not changing time zones or anything like that. No. They're just headed right north of the lake there. And man, it's I was just looking up while you were kind of chatting for a second there. I was looking up, see what Evgeny Malkin's timeline is. He's listed as week to week, but he has not resumed skating or anything like that. That tells me that I wouldn't be shocked if we don't see him till after the new year.
At this point, you're probably a safe bet, especially when you only have 2 games between Christmas and New Year's. So,
and sort of like, there's a roster freeze coming up here pretty soon, Robbie. There's the 20th, I believe it is. And this is a team right now. Like, I mean, the playoff Penguins fans are, they were thinking playoffs, man, and they need to get a couple wins on the road here. They need to be resilient. They need to grind away a couple of wins. Ottawa is not a world beater. The Habs have their flaws right now. I mean, Toronto is this is probably the worst Toronto's been in the last since the Matthews, Marner, Nylander era. They're probably at their most vulnerable right now. So you got to find a way. You got to dig in. I bring up personnel, Robbie, and my point was alluding to that is, the roster freeze coming up. This isn't a year where Dubas is going to fill a loss for like a guy like Malkin, or I don't think he's going to go out and get veteran help, because this is these young guys, they need to, dude, where's McGroarty been? McGroarty was lighting up the AHL. He had his snipe the other night. I mean, there needs to be improvement from guys like McGroarty. McGroarty needs to show up on the score sheet. You can't do. What more do you want from a guy like Ben Kindle?
Oh, Kindle's doing exactly what you want. Yeah, you can't. I mean, Kindle's been probably their most consistent player, which is crazy to say for an 18-year-old, but that is the reality.
I mean, you're looking at guys like, what do you expect from a guy like Hayes? I mean, great guy in the locker room. He can chip in, maybe 5-10 goals a year, maybe at this point in his career with his minutes he's allotted. If you're throwing out Danton Heinen as your fourth line center every night and you're asking him to be a defensive player and go up against top players and penalty kill and line matchups like that, dude. I mean, what do you expect, Robbie? Like, you're not going to get much from guys like that. Tommy Novak, he's kind of been – I feel like he's been finding his groove a little bit more with this team, but Tommy Novak needs to get going. Where's the offensive chip-ins from him? He got a goal tonight. I mean, he's not like not pulling his weight. I feel like he's figuring it out here, but I think you need some energy. You need to bring up an energy guy. And I don't know if that's even realistic at this point with the cap and everything. I don't know how all that works, like sending guys down, bringing them back up. Yeah. If you lost Danton Heinen on waivers, are you really going to be heartbroken over that?
No.
I think that you bring up some guys that got some fresh legs and got some juice to them in the minors right now. And you're not looking for scores. I mean, more like bottom six type guys.
Yeah.
Boko Amama is an energy type guy. Why not give him a look on this trip? Bring him on the trip. There's some young kids too. And you don't want too many rookies making their, season debuts this year. You're kind of letting them figure it out in the AHL and kind of marinate and get their minutes down there. But energy guys, man, I'm sorry, but Kevin Hayes, Danton Heinen, Nola Chari, those guys aren't bringing energy to a taxed roster, let's call it.
No, that's no doubt about that. They're definitely doing what they can. They do chip in every once in a while, but at some point they're going to absolutely need some of these guys to step up one way or another. And I won't be surprised if after the Christmas break we do see some of those moves start to play out, whether it's Tristan Brose or Avery Hayes. Even we've been waiting on Avery Hayes.
I know
all season.
Is he still injured?
No, he was playing. He played the other night.
Okay,
he's in the lineup. Just to kind of see, just get some fresh bodies and some fresh legs into this lineup. Again, Christmas is coming about the perfect time for the Penguins. Just find a way to get through these next 4 games.
Lose in overtime, get some points. I don't care.
Grab some points. Don't embarrass yourself. But you after the Toronto game on next Tuesday, the 23rd, you have a 4-day stretch where you have no hockey activities. Go celebrate Christmas with your families. Breathe, relax. Don't think about hockey. Get away from the rink, and let's rest and reset as we get ready to turn the calendar. And hopefully we have some fresh bodies ready to join as well, because they're just they look defeated. They look tired. They just kind of look out of it. And you have a situation now where the Oilers game, I didn't feel great to begin with. I wouldn't have felt great if they would have won all these games because Edmonton has, until last season, Edmonton had really had their number for a long period of time. McDavid is just on an absolute heater right now. And, yeah, just everything. And this was just the perfect storm for the Penguins to kind of get blown out in this game. They did have a couple chances to get back in the game, but it all seemed like Edmonton. And that's the thing. Like, Edmonton had multiple 2-goal leads. The Penguins brought it down to 1, but Edmonton found a way to bear down, get back on track, and get a goal to get that 2-goal cushion, and they built from there then. So, like, again, yeah, that's what the Penguins haven't been doing. They kind of just build leads, and then when they get punched in the mouth, they kind of just lay down and die, whereas Edmonton did the opposite of that tonight. So that's a lesson that hopefully the Penguins try to take away from this one. But, I mean, overall, yeah, not a good showing against Edmonton, another blown lead against Utah. And, man, one game at a time now. You have a day off here, reset, get on a plane, go to Ottawa, and just focus on that game. Pretend that's the last game you're going to play. Just go out there, play your game, and try to walk away with 2 points, because after this homestand, going on the road and getting 2 points the first time out would be a huge confidence boost for this team that right now is lacking in that area specifically.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Psst, healthcare pros, word's out, and it's too good to keep quiet. Look, LinkedIn is revolutionizing job hunting, making it possible to search by specialty, shift preference, and salary. Endless scrolling is out. Whether it's a mental health therapist or dental hygienist, finding the perfect role is faster and easier than ever. Head to linkedin.com/healthcare and start your search today.
The Who's Down in Who Newville were making their list, but some didn't know Walmart has the best brands for their gifts.
What about toys? Do they have brands kids have been wanting all year?
Yep, Barbie, Tony's, and Lego. Gifts that will make them all cheer.
Do you mean they have all the brands I adore?
They have Nintendo, Nespresso, Apple, and more.
What about...
So the Who answered questions from friends till they were blue. Each one listened and shouted, from Walmart? Who knew? Shop gifts from top brands for everyone on your list in the Walmart app.
This episode is brought to you by McAfee.
Finish your fantasy lineup?
No, but I'm joining this paid group chat with insider info.
Dude, seriously? Forward it to me. Security alert from McAfee. That group's as legit as that knockoff jersey you're wearing.
McAfee's scam detector is available in all McAfee plans for as little as $39.99 for your first year. Learn more at McAfee.com/online protection.
Abercrombie Kids is bringing the cheer all holiday season, and the gifts too. No matter how long their wish list is, there's always room for just one more. Whether it's a new winter coat, an extra pair of jeans, or cozy matching sweat sets, get gifting with looks they've been waiting for all year. Shop Abercrombie Kids in the app, online, and in stores.
Man, Robbie, take it period at a time. Shift or time. Win a shift. Win a puck battle. Get a shot on net. Get a face-off in the offensive zone. Like, I think this team just needs to focus on the little battles and need a lot more guys pulling the rope. I don't know. Tonight, you want to talk about a team that looks defeated. I mean, the Edmonton Oilers are just a faster team than the Penguins are. I noticed one thing a lot that was frustrating is that guys were just not getting to pucks quick enough. The Penguins were having a hard time finishing plays, which when they're buzzing, they're snapping that thing around and they're getting chances. Tonight, they were doing a hell of a lot of work on their own end to get the puck up ice, and it was just as quickly going back the other way. And Edmonton was having no trouble at all, just slicing and dicing across that blue line and getting into scoring position. And when they talked about it on the broadcast, when McDavid is motoring like that and he's just blowing by guys and they're setting up down low, and you're spending all this time in your defensive end, like, dude, that's exhausting. I mean, it's one of those things that the Penguins in the past have had trouble with too, is it seems like they're working so hard just to get up the ice and get a chance. And then it's a one and done. And then all of a sudden they're caught out there for a long shift. Yeah. Someone's changing and trying to get off the ice and get someone on. They're undermanned for 8 seconds. And the other teams capitalize on that stuff, dude. And it's Another thing that's been driving me nuts too, Robbie, I don't know if you notice it, but dude, some of these guys, it's like passing is a very hard thing to do in hockey. I think it's one of the more like underrated things that if you're good at it, people take it for granted. Some of these guys, dude, there's a lot of passes into skates or behind guys. Yeah. And I see guys kind of they're in a perfect one-timer position, or they're in a position to just scoot the puck along and keep it just kind of like I said earlier, snap it around. Yeah. And then it's these passes and these skates. And I saw it happen with Mantha. I see it happen with Letang multiple times a game. I don't know. The crispiness isn't there, Robbie. And that's probably fatigue from going into they played a lot of extra hockey over the last couple of games.
I mean, they played, yeah. And unfortunately, it has not been necessarily to their advantage. I mean, if you still a couple wins there, okay, you played a little extra hockey. But yeah, I mean, they've gone to overtime in 1, 2, 3, 4 of their last 6 games. Yes, and 2 of those were Saturday and Sunday were both back to back.
It's a lot, man.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it's just you got to shift your mentality when you get to those overtime periods. But they're definitely worn out. They've already played 7 games this month, and it's only the 16th. They have 6 more this month, again with that 4-day break in between the 4 and then the final 2 before the end of the year. But yeah, you have 3 on the road before Christmas, 1 at home. There's a home and home back to back with Montreal. Again, these are teams that you can beat. Like you're not playing Colorado. You're not playing Boston, who's a trouble, even if they're not the best team in the league. You're not playing Dallas again. You're not playing Vegas. You just have to go out there and, like you said, win a shift, then win a period, then win a game. And it starts Thursday night in Ottawa. Ottawa not fully loaded. I don't believe Brady Tkachuk is back on the ice yet.
I think he is.
Oh, is Brady? Matthews the one.
Matthews.
Matthews the one that's not playing in Florida. But yeah, I mean you're playing, and you're still in, even with these disappointing results, you're still in a good position in the standings. You have games in hand still, but you got to win those games in hand.
Yeah, those games in hand we know mean nothing unless
they don't mean nothing unless you capitalize on them. But you're still, despite all this, you're still right in the mix of everything. You just got to kind of men in black it, get one of those things, erase your memory, and get ready for the next one.
Boy, I wish I could have that.
After last week, I think we all could have wished we could have had one of them. But I mean, we all lived it, and we'll be better for it if they do make the playoffs. Because listen, they make the playoffs. Like, I mean, to go through that in the regular season is one thing. If they would start doing that in the playoffs, I'd be getting ready to play in traffic.
Tell me about it, man. So yeah, they lose to Edmonton. I mean, you got to be honest. Like, let's be real. When you saw Jari in net, I mean, I'm thinking the worst. I'm like, he's going to score a goal against us. He's going to have the game of his career against us. Jari let in 4, man. It's not like it ended up being 4-6. He let 2025 Danton Heinen. I am hard on Danton Heinen. I got to chill on that. He let him score. It wasn't a perfect game. He technically let in 5, but that first goal got called back.
Yeah.
They kind of hung in there. I don't know, man. It wasn't happening tonight, but they lose to the Oilers. Robbie, we got a couple of games coming up here on the road, like we just established. And then there's this roster freeze in 4 days. And, you know, I'm a little juiced up from the trades that's kind of been going on here with the Skinner-Jari trade that kind of kicked it all off. And then Quinn Hughes gets dealt. And we don't cover the Canucks nor the Minnesota Wild. But that was a hell of a trade, and you kind of can see what teams are willing to deal to get some things done. Vancouver is actually kind of a wagon all of a sudden now since they've acquired that package. But, Robbie, let's say Santa's got he's coming down your chimney and he looks at your Christmas list and you have a wish for Kyle Dubas. Right, standing today on Tuesday, December 16th, do you have a Christmas wish that has to do with adding or subtracting to this team? Do you got anything written down for Santa on that?
Youth from the AHL.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
Let's get Tristan Brose up here. Let's get Avery Hayes up here. Obviously, I'm not going to wish for health because that's out of Kyle Dubas's hands. But if it's up to him making moves right now, again, a trade right now is not going to. It's more of a panic move than anything. The Jari thing was kind of just out of. It kind of just all the pieces finally came together.
They got an offer. I think they couldn't say.
Yeah, no to. I think when you look at what they got and all that, but no, let's get some of this youth. Let's get this youth movement continued here. Brose came up. I think he played a game or two.
One game.
One game. Get him back to the lineup. Avery Hayes, we hear all about how great of a season he was having. He's way too good for the A right now. Get him up here. Get him in the lineup. And if it means trying to move a warm body for nothing, for a 7th round pick or something, 6th round pick.
Future considerations
even. Obviously, the roster freeze is coming soon, so I wouldn't anticipate anything before Christmas. But, hey, let's get some of these youth guys up here, and let's see if we can get some fresh legs help out just overall.
Yeah, man, that's a great one. I think that's probably what I would ask too. And now that I think about it, I might have had a different answer about a minute ago, but I don't even want Boko up to punch someone's head in. I want Boko up because he hits guys. He's a heat-seeking missile out there. And I think the guys love that guy. I think that I've seen Sid and that guy are yucking it up. I think he likes having a guy like Boko on the team.
He does.
Curious what you think about this on a different topic. Philip Deneau has requested a trade out of LA. He's a defensive centerman. What are you thinking about a guy like him?
So I've always been a fan of Deneau. He was a pain in the Penguins' butt for many years. I think he was a free agent, I believe, and went to LA. It just didn't work with what the Penguins were trying to do at that time. I love Philip Deneau. I've always loved Philip Deneau. I'm not sure exactly where his game's at right now, but if he's a guy that's looking for a way out, maybe that opens some doors that you can at least make some phone calls. LA things might not be going 100% according to plan. I don't know exactly what you have that LA would want, but that is something that I've always liked Philip Deneau. I love his game. I love the way he plays, and not a massive goal scorer, but for a team that needs to find a way to lock stuff down at this point, there's few that when their game is at the peak, few are as good as locking it down as Philip Deneau is for a forward, at least. So, obviously would be if you could get it, I'd love it. But yeah, I don't know exactly what the asking price would be. But hey, Kyle Dubas is probably at least going to hopefully pick up the phone and make Ken Holland's ring. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But Deneau, just from a personal perspective of I've always liked this guy, I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, so it's in 80 games last season. He had 8 goals, but he had 35 points for 43. And in LA, he's playing behind Quentin Byfield, Anze Kopitar. He's not on the power play. He's a penalty killer. He's a third line. He's a true blue defensive-minded third line center. And like you said, Robbie, I think the only thing that kind of tickles my interest with this Philip Deneau trade request is just simply the fact that the Penguins, with Blake Lizotte out of the lineup and Evgeny Malkin out up the middle, they're having a really hard time. I think just with possession, with the penalty kill, it's not as potent. He's scored 27 goals one year. He's had 18, 17 goals. He's mostly 13, 12. He's got bottom 6 type scoring. I don't know. Would you entertain the idea of giving up a if he wants out of LA, then LA kind of have to chew on that a bit, and it might not be the most. They're not going to probably win the trade in that case. But would you look at giving up a Kevin Hayes plus, I don't know, something like? Would you look at giving up like a Kevin Hayes or a Mantha? I would be. I'm not high on that idea of Mantha, actually. What if they wanted Raquel 1-for-1?
I don't know. I don't know what to know how he's viewed right now. I'm not really necessarily looking to give up a guy like Raquel just 1-for-1.
Fair. Yeah, I don't know. The Raquel strikes me a little bit. I feel like him and Russ, it's like both of them are trying to fit in with Crosby, and it's worked at times in the past, but sometimes I think it's a little bit too much of the same. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. Just curious where your head was at on the possibility of a guy like Philip Deneau being available. He kind of piques my interest, but I think Dubas is probably he might kick tires, but he's probably not going to offer up anything truly worthwhile. If Philip Deneau says he wants to come to Pittsburgh, get me over there, Ken Holland might have to entertain something he's not exactly thrilled with. But
I don't know what kind of heat Holland's feeling on that, but make the phone ring, see what happens.
Make the phone ring. That's what they're doing. God, to be a fly on the wall in Kyle Dubas's office when he's working the phones would be cinema to me, man.
Yeah, but I don't really have anything else, man.
Neither do I, dude. That was kind of a horse shit game. So
yeah. Penguins lost the Oilers 6-4. They lost to the Utah Mammoth 5-4 after another blown lead. They play Thursday night in Ottawa, the first of 3 of the next 4 on the road. So let's hope that maybe getting away from home resets the mindset a little bit.
Resets the mind. Let's get some juice going. Yep. We'll be there to talk about it probably Thursday night.
Yeah, it's a Thursday game, so hopefully we'll be able to hit up a recap on Thursday night for you guys. But Snail, if you don't have anything else, I don't have anything else. We'll put a bow on this one, and we'll talk to you guys Thursday night after the Penguins take on the Senators.